Hey, welcome back to another video. For this one, I have prepared a list on which games I am most excited to play in 2022. So if you're brand new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'm doing a giveaway for Horizon Forbidden West. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Hi everyone, my name is Vahlkor, and today we're going to be talking about the top 5 games I'm excited to play in 2022. Starting with number 5, Sifu. I am not sure if I'll be picking this one up right away, but everything I've seen so far makes me want to check it out. The developer, Slowclap, had a previous game called Absolver, which I was pretty interested in, but never got around to trying. So this is my chance to try one of the games. One thing that I am most interested in is the aging mechanic. Every time you're taken down, it will make you stronger. It seems to be a cool concept and probably plays out well. The idea is that you will become better fighter, yet aging makes your body a bit more fragile, so it'll mean that you'll have less HP, so taking down your enemies quicker will be your top priority. On top of that, the combat looks genuinely fun. As I know, it reminds me of one of those scenes from like Daredevil when you're like fighting in a hallway and it's like all one shot. That's what this combat looks like to me. There are some roguelike elements to the game, like how the abilities unlocked and mini-bosses can pop out randomly in any given run. This, in my opinion, will make the game a lot more interesting to play, as no two runs will be equal. And you know, also, who doesn't want to be a Kung Fu master? Honestly, this game will be a number 5 in my list, but I'm pretty excited. Alright, moving on to number 4, I have Starfield, the so-called Skyrim in space. I am probably one of the only gamers in the planet that didn't play Skyrim. Honestly, I was busy playing other games and I wasn't really that interested into it. Currently, there's not much information about Starfield. However, the trailer shown in E3 2021 got me interested, and I am waiting for gameplay footage to fully make my mind whether I'll be picking this one up or not. But until then, it'll remain on my list, and I'll remain excited for it. Number 3. Dying Light 2. Right smack in the middle of my list. I just enjoyed the first one so much, and I'm looking forward to doing all the parkour stuff again. The game takes place 20 years after the events of Dying Light 1, and apparently things got worse, way worse. Gameplay wise, it seems to be fairly similar to the previous game, so over on that front, I know I will enjoy it, and it will come down to the story. I am excited about the new approach to the narrative of the game. Making choices matter and having consequences could be fun, as it will probably bring a bit more replayability for the game. And with the new amount of parkour movements added to Dying Light 2, it's probably going to be a lot of fun to run around climbing obstacles while running to move across the world. I'm crossing my fingers so that this one doesn't get another delay. Moving on for number 2, we have God of War Ragnarok. Look, I enjoy your previous games in the franchise, they were all fantastic, but God of War on PlayStation 4 was really good. This game showed us a side of Kratos we've never seen before. I am excited to see how Kratos and Atreus' relationship has evolved since last we saw them, and if you played the first game, chances are you know how good the story was. The ending glimpse we got at Thor was enough for me to imagine how the fight between Kratos and the Norse god of thunder will be like. And if combat of God of War 2018 is any indication, then the combat for Ragnarok will be as good as satisfying. I believe Santa Monica stated that it should feel fresh yet familiar, so that's a good sign that they improve on the praised combat and systems of the first game. Another addition to the game is the ability to visit all 9 realms this time around. That means we'll get a chance to see Vanaheim, Svartalfheim, and Asgard. Let's face it, the Norse mythology is amazing, and I have no doubt that God of War Ragnarok will be one of the biggest games of the year slated for 2022. We don't have a solid confirmed date, so here's another one that I am wishing and hoping that it doesn't get delayed, because I really want to jump back in this. Alright, for my number 1 and most anticipated game on this list has to be Horizon Forbidden West. Now, I loved Horizon Zero Dawn. It quickly became one of my top favorite games, and for what we've seen with this one in the trailers, it is going to be one of the biggest games of the year. I'm incredibly excited to jump back into this game and discover and explore all the new biomes. This time, the game takes place 6 months after the events of Zero Dawn, and we'll be heading to the west as implied by the title. It looks like the robot apocalypse we stopped by defeating Hades wasn't the only apocalypse-like event, as in the west, there's a new red blight that was spreading across, infecting animals and creating storms. With confirmed locations of California, Utah, and Nevada, we can expect the map to be bigger and denser than before. I am also intrigued by the underwater clips we've seen so far, as in my opinion, pulling off underwater gameplay can be a bit of a daunting task. Most of the time I hate it, but Guerrilla Games describe it as a cat and mouse-like experience, which means we will probably not be fighting, but rather using tall kelp plants to hide from the enemies in these sections. And one of the weakest parts of Horizon Zero Dawn was the melee combat, but it looks like that part of the game got revamped to include combos this time around. Another part of the game that looks like had a revamp was the way Aloy traverses the map, moving away from strict climbing path from the previous game to a more of a free-form climbing. She's also now equipped with a grappling hook and a glider. Meanwhile, the DualSense controller will stimulate the feel of a bowstring, which sounds a pretty cool feature. But hey, that about wraps up this video. There you have my list. Those are my top 5 games of 2022. Make sure you leave a like as well as which game you're most excited for in 2022 in the comments below. If you want to be part of the live stream, subscribe to the channel so you know when I go live to play the games on this list. I'll leave a link to that in the description down below. And as always, my name is Vahlkor, and I'll see you next time.